What's up, everybody? Pasita here with Inspire Bass, helping you to advance and inspire on the bass. So you want to know how to start playing bass lines and melodies on your bass at the same time. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a simple way you can do that. Let's check it out. Okay, so you've probably seen bass players play melodies and bass notes at the same time. And you're kind of wondering how are they doing that, or what are they thinking when they do that? That is often referred to as chord melody. So if you are interested in this type of stuff, definitely check out the links I'll put in the description below, because chord melody is certainly an exciting thing to do. Now, the intro that I played was inspired by a video I saw of a guy named Chase Boogie. He was playing an arrangement. I don't know if he improvised it or he wrote it, but he was playing an arrangement of DOXOLOGY, and that hymn is just beautiful. But the way he plays it is very beautiful. It's definitely worth checking out. I also will put the links in the description below for you to check out on that one. But that definitely inspired me to just pick up my bass and try playing that hymn. And the way that chord melody is often done, you know, that's really a chord that is supporting a melody. That's why, you know, the term is called chord melody. Now, a chord is often two or more, or it's really more three or more notes. But on the bass, because of the limitations, we don't really have that ability to play that many notes all the time. You can certainly do it and throw it in there once in a while for emphasis, to add contrast, to add more texture to your chord melodies. But it's much easier to move around on the bass with just two notes. And oftentimes you'll see the melody note played somewhere on the high G string and the bass note played somewhere on the low E string. There's a certain clarity that you get when you just play two notes on the bass. And even though that's not theoretically like an actual chord, because it's only two notes, it's enough to imply a chord or a chord melody. Now you can certainly, and then start throwing in more notes in there to change up the texture. Okay, so don't get stuck with just, you know, two notes. Try exploring all, you know, your entire range of your bass. But when you're first starting out, you're only going to do two notes. Okay, so step number one, know the notes of the key that you're in or the scale that you're using. This is important because chords really just come from scales. And I'm not going to get into the details of whether the chord I'm playing is a major or minor. I actually don't think that's too important. I think what's more important is you have this framework of where the notes are mapped out on your instrument, and now it's up to you to play those notes, those supporting notes on the bass, or you can even deviate from that, and I'll show you exactly how. Okay, so in the intro, I had these notes, and I was in the key of E flat. So I have E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, and E flat. Okay, now the first thing to do is I'm going to map out all of my notes of E flat on my lowest string. Okay, because this is going to be my bass line, or where my bass, the majority of my bass line is going to reside. So I have F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, and E flat. Then I'm going to map out the notes on my high G string, because this is where the majority of my melody is going to lie. I have A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, and G. Okay? So that's the first step. The second step is just get comfortable playing two notes at the same time. And those two notes are going to, those notes you just mapped out, play them at the same time. Now, often with chord melody, you'll notice that the bass note is directly across from the melody note. It's not always, but a lot of times it is. So if my melody note is a G, directly across is an E, but that's not in the key of E flat. So that's the closest note. I have E flat. Then I go to F, then E flat, D is my melody note, C is my melody note, B flat is my melody note, A flat is my melody note, and we're back to E flat. Okay? So just get comfortable knowing what those shapes look like. Once you're comfortable with that, the next thing to do is start playing a simple melody, and then you're going to also back that up with that same exact concept. So for instance, if my melody went, which is the melody of DOXOLOGY, I'm just going to play just the bass note underneath. After that, all you have to do then is just, after that is just flavor. You can add rhythm to the melody, which is what Chase Boogie did. He does these things, which I thought was pretty smooth. Okay, but that's the basic gist of it. So remember, step 1, learn the notes of your scale. Step 2, map out the notes of your scale. And then step 3, you're going to start playing melody note at the top and then bass note at the bottom. And oftentimes the bass note is directly across. Now, if you want to take this a step further, I recommend doing the same thing for your A and D strings, your inner strings. And then that way you can still play bass notes and chord melody that is inside as well. That creates a totally different texture too. It's a little bit more denser, and it might not sound necessarily as big or as wide as that, which sounds a little bit more epic. But it all depends on what you're trying to express. So definitely explore with that. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. I hope this was helpful. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time, keep advancing and inspiring in the bass. See you soon.